Hey, what's going on, everybody? Sean here, Detroit Disney, and today there was a lot of brand new, exciting news in Walt Disney World. But before we get started, if you can, just go ahead and smash that subscribe button, shall you? We really appreciate all of our subscribers, and if you hit that notification bell, you also get to know when we go live or when we upload a brand new video. Anyhow, with that all said, I want to talk about this article that I read on Inside the Magic. Now, Inside the Magic has lately been using a lot of clickbait titles for you to lure you in to read their articles. And this one was also about this article headline was latest development may mean the end of Walt Disney World in Florida. I mean, what kind of clickbait headline was that? Anyways, inside of this story, it talked about the end of the Disney bubble as we know it. Now, I know a lot of people, they talk about the Disney bubble. What does that actually mean? Does that mean what happens we think of the Disney bubble as everything that happens within on Disney property. And I do say that that bubble, yes, it is and possibly will and probably surely will burst. I think that it is no doubt in my mind that eventually that the state of Florida is going to be able to send inspectors to look at the monorail and also the Skyliner for its safety. We already have had an incident where their Skyliner actually had a problem and it broke down and people were stuck there for some period of time. And I don't suspect that anything is going to change. That this is going to be an inspection deal for the state and also the monorail. And I'm not opposed to that, and I don't believe that Disney is going to be opposed to these new inspections. What I don't think is that an inspection, like the article states, that these inspections are going to be taking away from the magic of Walt Disney World. You'd be surprised. I think you'll get more people to ride the monorail like myself or the Skyliner, knowing that somebody's came by it and inspected it and it should work properly. Because if it has issues where has broken down before, or some cars have smashed into the others like have had in the past, you start to wonder, are we keeping people from riding it because it has this history of malfunctioning? Now, and I think already, I mean, having an inspection would just make it put more people at ease, and that's my opinion about that. Now, also, I don't think that when they go to court, another thing I don't think is I don't think all of the last minute deals where Disney World can just expand anywhere they want in the Reedy Creek district. I don't think that that's going to be able to stay intact. I think that's going to be that should really be left up not to the state to govern, but it should be really between anybody who's selling land or stuff like that. I'm not an expert at who owns what down there. I've never tried to figure it out. So I think you're going to see some changes there too. Now, one of the things about this article, it also went on to say that people are no longer the guests have noticed that when they're just not getting some of the smaller things that they were getting before, and that comes out with today's brand new news that I just said I would talk about, and that is that the dining plan is finally coming back the 9th of January 2024, which is a long time from now. But there's some people that are planning a trip already. I mean, if you are going to be at the Walt Disney World DVC, some people are planning 11 months ahead of time for their trip. And because the Disney costs so much, people, of course, plan their trips over a year from now. So with only that being January, so that being about 7 months or so from now, 7 to 8 months from now, when you're going to be able to do this with this new dining plan that's going to come out, I think it's really, really, really important to start planning now, because you're going to have to save up for the dining plan. Just remember, the dining plan is kind of like you pre-purchasing your meals at the parks, and you'll be getting some snacks along packaged with it, but you will have to, instead of paying as right out of your pocket immediately, you're or I mean at the park while you're there, you're paying everything up front and then using it, and hopefully you're using it all and it isn't going to waste. That's all I'm saying. So be smart about what you purchase in the Disney dining plan. And there's plenty of blogs, plenty of videos about it on the Disney food blog. I reference you back to them to watch videos on the Disney dining plan. And I'm sure AJ and team will have tons of brand new videos about the Disney dining plan coming out because that's their forte, hence the Disney food blog. Anyhow, so that's going to be really, really great. Then they're talking about another thing that just came out, and I'm looking on my phone because I have some information there. They're removing the theme park reservation requirements for date-based tickets. So, for instance, if I had a ticket that was specific to this date, that means that I no longer have to have a reservation requirement for that ticket's date. That means that in the future, when I buy tickets, if they have a dated range, which is usually, I believe that these dated tickets are the tickets that you would buy specifically for these dated ranges, that you're not part of the annual pass system. You're just buying your tickets outright. So you're like saying, okay, I'm going to buy 10 tickets for a 10-day period here, and these are the dates. And then you'd have to go find and hope that your tickets that you have for your park reservation are good, are open, that your tickets that you just bought for the parks, that you'll be able to really use them because they have availability with the park reservation system. I think that was kind of an issue for a lot of people, and now I think Disney is like, the light bulb has gone off. Bing! This is really a problem, and it really is. I think that it's been a problem for a long time, and I think they're finally realizing that people have caught on and said that really stinks, and that they should change it. I said that stinks. So yeah, so they're changing that, and then they're saying that there's this good to go days when annual pass holders and cast members will not need to not need a theme park reservation. So annual pass holders, they can go they don't need a reservation, they don't need a theme park reservation, will continue to while theme park reservations will continue to be required for select admission types in 2024, we plan to offer select days on which the pass holders and the cast members may visit the Walt Disney World theme parks without needing a park reservation. So now they're saying that the park reservations will still be in effect for annual pass holders, I guess. I don't know. That's kind of like what it says. I don't know. That's really confusing to me. So, I think that I think, it comes back to this thing about annual pass holders. They've come to a conclusion that they need the annual pass holders, right? But they still don't want that many pass holders to go. So what they're going to do is they're going to keep the pass holders on a reservation system. Basically, you're going to have to make a reservation of sort. But after 2 o'clock, you can just go and park hop wherever you want to go. You don't have to get a second reservation for the day. But by telling annual pass holders they need a reservation, that will cut down the annual pass holders, and then they get the big time bucks that they need from the everyday person that they just said you don't need a reservation for the dated tickets. Interesting enough, I see this as Disney has found out a way that, hey, if we give you annual passes, so you have this warm fuzzy that you have this annual pass that you can go anytime you want now. Yeah, but you really can't just yet. Yeah. That's a contradictive kind of statement. That was like a Jedi mind trick. Yeah. Anyways, so Here's another thing that okay, let's see here. Also, don't no, hold on a minute here, okay? Um, they are working on ways to help guests plan with Disney Genie Plus service and individual lightning lane selections before their visit, so they can spend more time with friends in the park. So for a long period of time, they said that you couldn't use the Genie Plus until you got to the park, because they were saying that they didn't like people that were holding up, they were holding these fast passes or Genie Pluses and stuff, ahead of time, right? I think they started to do that with also like different dining reservations too, right? So now you're going to have all these people that don't have any future ticket. They may or may not have tickets to the park, and now they're going to allow them, or maybe they do have tickets. I'm not really sure. It didn't say, but it's going to help the guests plan before they even get there. So I hope that this is going to be used for the good for people that are vacation planning, that be able to still plan out their Genie Pluses. But I don't know how you would plan a Genie Plus ahead of time if your Genie Plus is based on that day's information. Meaning that I don't know that Genie Plus will know what the times are, or how things are going to work out. But that for that day. But if you have been planning a trip before, you have this idea, like, I want to go to these parks on these days, to these rides, and this my whole entire plan is that I go to these rides in this order. But if it doesn't work out, then you have like a backup to the backup, or a backup to the backup. Yeah, well, yeah, you get what I'm saying. And so if you end up going, and you're able to do Genie Plus ahead of time, that may start you out good, as it should have, or should be working. But I don't know. It's going to be trial and error still. I think that people are going to still be in the same conundrum that they did before. That's all I'm saying. So, anyways, yeah, so those were the few things that were released today. And no, the Disney bubble's not going to end either. I think that is completely not really true. And anyways, so yeah. Anyways, that's the news today. And I hope that you come back, and we'll talk again about more Disney news. Anyhow, talk to you guys later, and have a great one. Bye-bye.